Wait, what?
Oh shit!
Oh, that's
Are you ready?
that's a it's a classic song. All right, are we live? Are we
Welcome.
live? Welcome to Grab a Crate. We're here with Patrick. How you going, Patrick?
How's it going, guys?
All right, I got a question for you guys. What's your favorite jam?
Probably like funk.
I'm talking like spread.
Oh, okay, food.
I'm gonna say Graffic Jam's my favorite.
Greatness me, mate.
Let's talk about that now.
Marmalade, actually.
What's your project about? Like, what is it all about? Tell us about that.
I guess it's evolved. It started as one thing and now it's a different thing. Now we just basically create contents for bands, essentially. So we can do live videos, music videos, singles.
And is that all like promotion
Artwork.
for like local artists and bands, that sort of thing?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Pretty much all local artists. We've got a show called Soundcheck, which has up-and-comers and local bands. We do it over at YMCA HQ, which is a youth venue over in Leederville.
Cool.
And yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk about the grassroots of it. So let's wind back a couple months.
All right.
And let's talk about the grassroots of it. So how did it all come about?
All right, so it started probably developed in my head late 2017, and I was at Josh's house. He's the ops manager and other audio engineer at Graffic Jam, my mate. And I was over at his house, and we were playing around with some music on his stuff, and he had so much recording gear, and I was like, "Why? Have you used this?" He's like, "No, I just got it all because and I'm like, "Let's go record some bands, man." And then I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Let's do a thing. And we go to the lounge rooms of bands and do a thing called lounge room sessions. And we set a few mics up, set some cameras up, and then we'll have mixes to play with. Because one thing when you're here as an audio engineer, you don't have enough shit to mix.
Yeah,
do you ever
yeah.
find that? Or
Yeah.
like varied genres or anything. You're always working on your own mixes, which is impossible. It takes forever. And then he's like, "Oh, I know some film guys," and then very quickly it went from lounge room sessions, like the most small idea of that, to, and then Josh met up with Ben Taff, and they're like, "Yeah, you can use our venue," and we're like, "Oh, sick!" And so suddenly out of venue and our two film guys, which were Josh's mates, and we all got together and went, "Let's film some bands. We've got a venue, we've got all the stuff. Let's go do it." And then we went and just did it. Got a band in, Lilia, who was one of Josh's mates, and then it just went from there. And we just started getting more and more bands, and we needed mixes for here, and then it grew. Then we got a graphic designer and artist, which is Couchy, on board. So now he's like drawing the bands and can make artwork and basically everything else. So we've done about 20 episodes now.
Where did you kind of draw that inspiration from? So did you see like other projects or kind of?
Yeah, well, for live, in terms of live sessions, which is how it sort of started, we sat down, me, Jake and Josh, and talked about what we wanted to do. And at the start, it was lounge room sessions. That's what we were thinking. And I really like the NPR one, what's it called? The Tiny Desk. Do you guys ever watch that?
Yeah.
I've seen a few.
I mean, that was probably my biggest inspiration for that. And I guess like a version, anything like that.
Triple J.
WA doesn't have anything close to like that. And we were like, well, let's make a show or do something where we can like shine a light, I guess, on all the talents coming out of here and make a show which was called Soundcheck, and that's how it sort of started. That was basically the inspiration behind that show. But then, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So how do you get in contact with bands? Like, do you go to gigs and like?
Yeah, I guess a lot of different ways. We get hit up a lot on our Facebook page, but then like it's hard because we just have a big people hitting us up, and then we put them in a list, and then it's sort of like, how do we pick one band over another and how we do that sort of thing. And then other bands, say for example Dulcie, I don't know if you guys know those guys. I saw them at a gig. I was like, wow, these guys are the best band, and walked up and said, "Can we film you guys?" And then the next week we filmed them, sort of thing. So sometimes we get asked, sometimes we ask other bands, and basically like that. But all pretty much local up and comers. So go to gigs, or we get hit up, check them out,
awesome.
and do it like that.
Can we get to the nitty gritty now?
Yeah.
Let's talk about you personally and your role in the team.
All right.
What do you do?
I'm the lead audio engineer, so head of audio. So I guess I mix it all. So if you heard any of the mixes, on the day, it's pretty mixed between me and Josh. Like, Josh actually runs the session. I'm setting up microphones, that sort of thing. I used to be monitor mix before we had a proper setup, but now we've been sponsored by Audio Technic, which is a big audio company. So now they provide everything. Like
That's
all
awesome,
the gear
man.
we could
That's really awesome.
ever ask for. So we've got a big desk and every microphone we could ask for, and they give us an engineer as well. So now I don't actually do too much at the sessions, but then I mix it all afterwards. So yeah.
What does that mean?
Do a bit of research. So if a band's like indie pop or something, I'll go listen to whatever tracks they're about, listen to some other indie pop, and then watch a lot of YouTube videos and learn on how to mix those sort of styles. And then I've just learned a bunch of different styles from doing all different bands. We've done like punk bands, pop bands, acoustic singers, that sort of thing. And then, yeah, mix it, I guess. Sort of sit there in front of my computer. So are you asking me what is mixing?
Yeah. So some people have no idea what that word means, or it means, I think, has a lot to do with the context of the art.
Right.
Like you're mixing food, right?
Yeah, basically. Sort of. You're just getting all the elements and putting it in a blender and getting a nice smoothie at the other end, I suppose. You need the right balance of banana and cinnamon and stuff. You don't want it too cinnamony or too... That's like the kick drum or the, It's not... I've never really thought about it like that, but it actually kind of works.
Yeah, the analogy works there, I
You're
think.
taking all the elements, for example, the drums, the bass, the guitar, and the vocals, and then putting it together. Not just balancing levels, but compression, EQ, which is, I guess, the tools an audio engineer uses to make it sound the best it can. I also master it, but I sort of, you mastering your own tracks is not really recommended, but for live sessions and that sort of thing, I do it. But yeah.
So is Graffic Jam like a full-time thing for you guys now? Like how's it going about now?
No, it's not. I suppose that's one of our biggest challenges is balancing everything and monetizing correctly, which I think anyone, if you're watching this, is probably in the industry and wanting to figure that out. Monetizing is hard because especially our product is up-and-coming bands obviously don't have a lot of money. So we're sort of like the concept and the whole premise is to do bands that are up and coming. So how do we make money from that? And that's sort of the challenge. So now we're looking into things like Patreon and Kickstarter and that sort of thing. It's going to have a competition next month coming up. I don't even know if I can actually talk about it. So anyway, yeah. So no, it's a sort of a part-time gig still at the moment. Yeah, basically. So
are you wanting to obviously keep Graffic Jam in Western Australia, or are you guys kind of in the long run wanting to expand
it's very hard to... when it started, I didn't expect it to be where it was now, and I definitely didn't expect it to be where it is now. So it's hard for me to even predict where it's going to go. But I don't think we're even close to moving out of WA. But not that we wouldn't do bands from out of WA, but I don't think any of us are going to be moving over east or anything like that. I think our next steps are definitely figuring out the monetizing and making it our full-time job. And then probably moving on to hire some more engineers and branch out a bit to get a bit more content. So yeah, we can all be working on our, I guess, pet projects, but bring other people in as well to grow it and grow the community.
So let's talk about the challenges.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the challenges behind the scenes that goes on with Graffic Jam?
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, me personally, challenged from when we started, I couldn't mix for shit. I wasn't a very good engineer. I was a student, and I've just dived in deep end. Suddenly mixes I'm doing are now going to be released for everyone to see and stay on the internet forever. How do I get really good at mixing really quickly? So that my first challenge was that basically, and that just required sitting in one of those studios all day, every day for months until I could get good enough. And I'm like,
just
now
like
I can make a good mix now. Yeah. It's taken me weeks, but I can do it. But then now I can do it quite quickly. Like I can knock one out in an afternoon or a day. And then they hit us up and say, I want this change sort of thing. And I do it a lot quicker. All the other things, the challenges with like there's 5 of us and everyone has a different creative direction. And how do you know what's the best direction,
Yeah.
who's right, how's it go? Do you play politics? Do you go 3 verse? Because there's 5 of us. Do you go 3 verse 2 and that sort of thing? That's just any challenge that happens with any group of people.
Yeah.
But that's obviously one of our challenges. The main one, like you pointed out, is it's not a full-time gig. So it's very hard for us to go, is everyone free Thursday night? Some of us work in hospitality, some of us are working during the day. And finding that time, I guess, is the biggest challenge. But yeah, I guess we're overcoming it. We're getting there. But I don't know. What else? What challenges did you think I would be facing, or like what did you think?
I guess how did you guys go about venues to start off with? Because did you lock that venue there and then before you started recording?
Before we did one session, we had that venue, and we had a lot of trouble with that venue of making it look good because it's quite like it looks like a dive bar. It's coming in posters and coming that sort of thing, and so we're like, how are we gonna do like poppier bands or bands that don't suit the vibe? But the film guys just got a lighting rig and made it work, and now it doesn't look out of place even with any genre you watch it. I still think it looks pretty good, just play with the lighting and that sort of thing. But no, so yeah, we've got that venue locked down because we're obviously supporting the industry, and their whole existence is to support the music industry.
Absolutely.
HQ. So that's locked down. But then from there, so we're moving into doing live sessions, which is separate to Soundcheck, where bands can do a personalised live session, I guess, at the venue of their choice. And that's a bit more like, where do they want to do, what's going to suit that band, what sort of vibe, and we hit the venue up. If they say yes or no, that's whether we get to use it. Yeah,
let's talk about that a little bit more. I've seen your website, just like earlier.
Yeah.
It looks really profesh. You had a designer on it.
Yeah, kind of couchy.
But maybe talk a bit about the importance of having a great portfolio or online presence.
What do you mean?
So like, I think nowadays it's so important to have this online presence. What I mean by that is just, I think everything's so digital now.
Yeah.
Like word of mouth can only go so far, I think.
Yeah.
So
I think our entire existence is pretty much online.
Yeah.
Like there's not much word of mouth going around with Graffic Jams. We've got business cards, but you hand those through, they go, oh, cool, and that's it. I mean that's massively important. That is 100% of how we do anything. We sort of thought we would be a YouTube channel. That's how we thought we were going to be started. But we made a YouTube account and a Facebook account. And if we share it on Facebook, we get a good response, a few thousand views. If we share it on YouTube, we get 100. And we're like, well, how do we get people to the YouTube account? And that's a challenge at the moment. We're not too sure.
Because you'd think like being on YouTube, like the biggest platform, you'd think you'd get more views on that than Facebook, hey?
Yeah, I guess so. I think it's just to do with subscribers and whether are we marketing correctly to get YouTube cranking. But Facebook and Instagram are our main ways. And we tried just posting to YouTube for a little bit at the start of the year, and then we're just like, well, we're not getting as big a response, so we may as well do what works, which is Facebook. Because the algorithm, if you post a video on Facebook, it's going to reach a lot more people than a YouTube link. So yeah, that sort of thing. I just thought of a massive challenge.
Yeah, go on.
We did a couple of big sessions late last year with a couple of artists that have from over east with millions of hits, and we were like, oh, this is going to be a break, this is going to be awesome. And then we made it all and said to them, yeah, it looks great. It's great. I was like, cool, can we release it? And then we just get stonewalled by the label, and we were just like, oh. And we filmed 2 sessions in December, and then we just basically we were like, oh, yeah, right. So folks, get your paperwork sorted before doing anything.
So get those contracts and stuff.
We was like, oh, sick, we've got a sick band, they can, let's do it. And then filmed them and went, oh, there's a lot of stuff. So
it just takes your business off that completely?
No, I guess that there's legalities and paperwork over who owns what. If you post a video, there's a lot behind the scenes that you don't really think about because we're mostly dealing with up-and-comers and independents. And everyone's agreed, we've got contracts, someone goes, yeah, sweet, keen for that, awesome, and that's it. But with labels, there's way more hoops to jump through.
Right.
And it can take months or years to get it approved. So I guess we learned a lesson there was, we're going to get all our legalities and paperwork figured out before we do a session. But then, yeah, so we've got content sitting under wraps that is awesome of awesome big bands that we can't release because we haven't.
Right.
That is
That is an interesting
that
thing
is
to take
something
on board.
I definitely think
crazy.
about because you don't think about that when you're coming up or when you're making content. You're just like, oh, we made cool content, put it out, sweet. Yeah, no, there's other things you got to sort of think about. But stay tuned. Those sessions might see the light of day, depending on what happens.
So, if you could do a little plug, where can we find your stuff for Graffic Jam?
Facebook, Instagram. We've got a website as well. Oh, yeah.
Just at Graffic Jam for Facebook and Instagram?
Yeah, at Graffic Jam Official for Instagram. Is this the end of the podcast? Is it?
I guess it's the end of the podcast.
Could be.
Could be.
We'll keep going.
It's quick, short and sharp. Yeah, at Graffic Jam Official.
You got some cheeky merch coming out too?
Yeah, we do. Couchy's been working away behind the scenes. He's such a good designer. I don't know if you've ever seen any of his stuff. You can check out Mikey Couch. But yeah. We're wondering whether we should. What do you guys think? Should we move into, say we do a band and we get them for the session, should we make custom merch for that band from that session? Or should
I think so.
Do you think,
I think
if you're
that'd
in a
be
band, would
yeah.
you be keen for that?
I think that'd be like excellent like stuff for you guys.
Yeah.
Because obviously like you would keep putting your logo.
You'd put your
on
logo
it.
somewhere. You wouldn't make that the main feature, or maybe you could.
I reckon like having like designing merch for bands and giving it to them is awesome because then they're able to release some stuff too. So
how would you do the money split on the merch?
like with the crew or with like bands as well?
Yeah, with the band. That's sort of the hiccup we got. We're using them to sell our merch. Is there a ethical thing, or would the band care? I suppose you got to negotiate, but maybe that's something you could look into.
I guess like they'd be making profit too by reselling.
Yeah, I guess
so. So you guys would be making money by selling it to them, and they'd be profiting from selling it as well. So
yeah,
I feel
if we have a store, we'd be selling it as well. So I wonder whether you'd give a $5 cut per shirt.
Yeah, I reckon
like
give them some sort of profit.
Yeah, right.
What do you reckon, Ace? I reckon. Give the little boys a bit of a cut. Yeah.
It depends. It depends on how much money you make.
Yeah,
I think that's where it depends.
That's true. Whether it becomes commercial or feasible.
And you have to discuss the plan, expectation.
Is that a legal thing though? Like,
yeah, I bet. Pretty much everything that involves money, there's going to be some legal.
Damn, love that legal stuff, bro.
Yeah.
You know what else is legal?
What?
It's illegal that we keep going right now, so we have to end the podcast. I'm sorry.
All right.
All right, arrest me, guys.
Anyway, guys, this is all we have time for.
Thanks for having me.
This is
Yeah,
Gabba
thanks for
Craig,
coming in,
and this is
Patrick.
Patrick.
No worries.
This
Also-
is Bree.
Yeah, this is.
I'm Ace.
I'm Bree. Also, check out Graffic Jam
Yeah.
at
jump on.
Graffic Jam. You know what to do. All right, ready? Let's fade. 3, 2, 1.
Bye.